dreams tell us something about who is more likely to stay together versus who's more likely to break up in a romantic relationship.
Most common dream.
Well, in general, there's things that I hear from people a lot. The common dream is the teeth falling out dream. And so a lot of people report having that type of dream. A lot of people have dreams where they're, running, sometimes falling. And other than that, I would say like just the mundane stuff that we talked about. So going to work and hanging out with friends and doing chores, those are the kinds of things that those are the most common types of dreams.
For some reason, that makes me sad that most of my dreams are just like boring. Like I could be doing all these adventures and I'm still just going to the grocery store. like,
Yeah, well, that's where lucid dreaming comes in. So when people have lucid dreams, then they are aware of the fact that they're in a dream while they're in it, and then they have more control. So then they can, for lucid dreaming, that opens up a whole world of possibilities.
I don't know if that's ever happened to me. Is that a common thing or not
It is
very common?
relatively common. So if you ask people, have you ever had this type of dream? A lot of people will say, sure, I've had that happen before. I wouldn't say it's common for people to have regularly.
Are dreams fundamentally different than nightmares? Or a nightmare is just a
Yeah, good
scary dream?
question. Personally, I mean, there's no objective definition of what a nightmare is. I mean, we know what a nightmare is because somebody tells us that they had a nightmare. Otherwise, the same person could potentially have the same dream as another person and not call it a nightmare. They would just call it a regular dream. So you could think about a nightmare as something that people just subjectively identify. And there are, features of nightmares that are a little bit different in the clinical population. So for somebody who has had a traumatic event, they are more likely to have recurring dreams of that event. That being said, we generally tend to have a little bit more negative emotion than positive emotion in our dreams anyway. And I wouldn't say that makes the majority of people's dreams nightmares. I would just say that those emotions are more salient in dreams that we normally have. So, to answer your question, I would say in most cases, dreams and nightmares, there's kind of, very fine line between those things, and we could maybe just group them together. That being said, at the extreme end where people are really suffering from distress, I would say that's a very different thing, and that we would definitely call those nightmares.
Why do we have more negative emotions than positive emotions in dreams? That's just who we are.
Well, it could be more of the we're trying to plan ahead, think about things that might happen and deal with them preemptively. I mean, that's one of the other things. Again, putting dreams aside for a second, that's one of the things that makes us such a successful species is that we're able to think 12 moves ahead in life and plan for things like, we're going to get snow in a little bit. So how do we deal with that before it happens? And maybe there's a meteor that'll hit Earth in, the year 2032 or something. And how are we going to deal with that? So those things are, they can be unpleasant to an extent. It requires thinking ahead to potential things that could hurt us and dealing with them. So if that theory of dreams is correct, then it would make sense for us to have a little bit more negativity than positivity in terms of emotions in our dreams. That's not to say there's no positivity. There certainly is. But it would make sense to think ahead about what could go wrong tomorrow so I can deal with it now. And in fact, I think anecdotally, a lot of people will report experiencing that in their day-to-day lives. Like, oh, I had this dream and I realized I had to deal with it and I woke up and I dealt with it.
And I saw that thing about the meteor hitting or asteroid or whatever we
Right, right,
call it.
right.
Like it's like no, that those odds are going up or
Right.
going down. But like it's 1 in 40, it's 1 in 32. Like
Yeah.
good. Oh well, that's good. Have you ever ran across somebody that just didn't? They just didn't dream.
It is possible. I don't know anyone personally, but it is possible for someone to not dream. We psychologists used to believe, that if you did not have the ability to dream, that you couldn't be alive. But that has been debunked as well. There are people, and it's very, very rare, but there are a non-zero number of people in the world who will not dream, and they're fine.
What is the single most interesting thing about dreams?
The most interesting thing about dreams. Well, I think it's the mysterious quality of dreams, that there's potential for anything that we could experience, we can have in our dreams, and it's almost limitless. We can have dreams that are otherworldly. We could have dreams about, the afterlife, or those, who are deceased. We could have dreams about people that we've never met. We could have dreams where we're fulfilling our dreams in a kind of in an abstract sense, like we're fulfilling our dreams in our dreams. So yeah, they're just very magical.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like, it's kind of cool to play basketball with a shark. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was pretty fun. Do they seem to motivate us or distract us?
Well, maybe neither. I mean, I think so. This is one other area where I would say, as a society, I don't think Americans place that much value in their dreams overall, relative to maybe other societies. I think we tend to not put that much stock into our dreams. We don't feel very motivated or distracted by them, I think. And that's probably especially true with people now in the age of kind of ubiquitous technology, because like I was saying before, if you wake up and you're just immediately plugged into whatever is going on in your devices, then you're not really thinking about your dreams and taking them seriously. I've actually, so I'm collecting some data now on the people who are participating in the study that I'm running are college age students, and I've noticed that overall they're less likely to report having dreams than in some of the past samples that I've collected. And I think that's because they're not really taking the time to think about their dreams after waking up. So I have to kind of go an extra step to make sure that they disconnect from their devices and give them like a pad of paper and a pen to write down their dreams so that we know that we can get them. So yeah, I think overall, probably neither, neither motivated or distracted.
Man, that is an existential crisis in the sense that, like, modern society has killed our dreams. Like, oh,
but we're not we're not doomed. We can focus on our dreams anytime we want to, and we just need to make that choice. And we still have paper and pencil journals. Like, I still have them, I still use them. And or just put your phone on airplane mode and make sure nothing comes in until you write it down, and then you have it.